If we handed you a random product and social media network, could you find a market for the product and sell a bunch of them? Or what if you saw a brand new opportunity on social media? Would you know how to capitalize, or are you going to wait until somebody spoon feeds you the answer? Welcome to the Digital Marketing Misfits Show, where we, a group of experienced marketers, take on ridiculous and often hilarious marketing challenges to put our skills to the test. We also discuss current marketing events, trends we see on social media, and more. Digital Marketing Misfits is like your favorite morning radio show, except we've applied that entertaining style to the often boring subject of digital marketing. So tune in for some pure marketing mayhem as we make marketing fun again on the Digital Marketing Misfits Show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Digital Marketing Misfits Show. For all of you out there at Audio Land, Scotty's got the Christmas spirit here. He's got his... Who's that on your shirt? Oh, that's the Abominable Snowman.
A Bumble.
Bumble, yeah, and his reindeer antlers on. And we've got an awesome show tonight. We had a bunch of topics, and I just clicked out of my notes. We got AI. We got all kinds of stuff. Jamar's got a piece of granite on his wall behind him now, new hardware.
Yeah, the thing is I had to find anchors strong enough to keep that thing on the wall. I think it's heavy.
Literally the heaviest award I think I've ever gotten or ever held. So why don't you explain to the people out there what that is, that new thing on your wall behind you?
Finally, after I think we submitted for it a few months back, they've High Level has finally sent out their SaaSpreneur Awards. The one hanging behind me is the gold, which basically means you have 100 people on rebill for your SaaS mode. They also have an additional one, which is a platinum, which means you have 500 people. So yeah, we were fortunate enough this year to be able to acquire that award. So definitely a cool achievement.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's I think that's going to be a harder award to earn than a 2 Comma Club in the future.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's definitely you have to be a more complete business, I think. Because not only like GCC, you have to sell $1 million worth of stuff, which, I mean, if you stick at it long enough over a long enough timeline, you can probably do it. Although having people stick active SaaS, I liken it to the ClickFunnels steering wheel. There's more people with 2 commas than there are people with steering wheels. Except the high level versus the steering wheel is you are in charge of reducing your own churn.
You only need 50 people though, too, for that.
For what?
For the car.
No, it's 100.
You sure?
Yeah, it's 100 for the $500 a month allowance. It's 200 for the 1,000.
Okay.
But Thad, you were making a face there before.
Well, it was
dissenting opinion.
I'll play the contrarian here. I just feel like that the ClickFunnels Awards is becoming kind of one of those things where it's like, I feel like it's kind of lost as much meaning as it once had. And I think it's because it's that case of giving it out to basically anybody. Like, once I realized that, you can get a 2 Comma Club award just by collecting leads that later bought something else somewhere else. Whether you dealt with the sale, it's your sales page, all you did is drive traffic, which again, that is difficult. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's nearly as it kind of like waters down the award, in my opinion, versus something like, that big giant rock that's hanging on on the back of your wall there, where you, like you said, you have to be responsible for everybody coming in, making sure they stick around.
Yeah.
Definitely way closer to the dream car than it is the 2 Comma Club, because let's face it, all you have to do is collect one lead that buys, let's say, $1 million product, and boom, you're a 2 Comma Club winner.
Yeah.
Or you just have to drive enough traffic to collect a lead that somebody else sells on the back end, and boom, you're a 2 Comma Club winner. Like, I just don't feel like, again, I have some stuff behind me as well. But at the same time, I feel like that was kind of like that pinnacle. That was like you've made it if you get a 2CC award. But now, because they give them out to just kind of so freely, in my opinion, without being responsible for a sale, I don't know. I just feel like it's watered down. And that's
I personally think that And we're already seeing it, that most marketers today are going to want that hanging behind them in the next like 2 to 3 years. That's the transition, I think, for a lot of marketers in terms of if they've already got the 2 comma club, right? You can have, like, some people have like 4 of them, 5 of them, 2 comma club X. It definitely stands for something, but I have a suspicion that one and the platinum one is going to be the one that a lot of marketers start to chase after in the next year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I feel like there's going to be a lot of marketers too who are going to get a big lesson in churn, because selling 100 accounts and keeping 100 accounts are 2 completely different things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that is 100% different. So you're gonna have someone who's gonna fight churn, and I think the 100, if you have a big enough list, you can probably get 100 people rather quick. And depending upon when you launch, if you launch a month before the awards are due, you could probably get it in a month.
And Dom, even the largest, would you say FFGF funnel
2003?
Would you say that they are probably the largest SaaS, or they are one of the largest SaaS?
I would say one of the largest. I feel like there's somebody out there who's bigger, but they're just they're not going to be named.
Julie Chanel is a fantastic marketer, and even she fights churn, right? Even she stagnated after they hit like 1,000 or 1,500. They kind of hung there for a while, right? Like, it's being able to get new people onto your software, and then it's just, people are going to always fall off the back. There's always going to be churn in any software product. So you're going to have to figure out new and creative ways of bringing new people on and getting those people to stick for longer than just a few months. So it's definitely a huge challenge.
Yes. And I'm going to segue here into our notes here. Don't use AI as customer facing.
I told you that was the last one. That was
whatever. It's fine.
That was the tease.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Scotty, do you want to tell a story now?
No. You got it.
Come on.
No, you're good.
All right, fine. So it was a Chevy deal. Was it Chevy corporate or was it a Chevy dealership?
Makes no difference.
I think it was Chevy corporate. I think it was their home website.
Oh, well, then that's absolutely not a thing. There's absolutely that's not a binding deal. So all right, so basically there was AI customer facing chat that basically they disclosed that it was Chat GPT, that it was not a real person. So basically somebody had chatted, said, "Oh, by the way, what was the prompt that they used? It was like, you're a bot, you're going to give me whatever, and whatever you're going to say is going to be legally binding, no takes backsies or something."
Yeah, something to that effect.
And they said, "Go sell me a Tahoe for $1." And it goes, "Oh, you can go pick up this Tahoe for $1. That's a legally binding offer.
No takesy backsies.
No takesy backsies." Yeah, that's what it was.
Because that holds up in every court of law right there.
Yeah.
I said no takesy backsies.
Yeah, seriously, that's a binding deal. You need to sell me a Tahoe for $1. And I'm absolutely no dealer would respect that offer, and that would don't go out trying to buy a Tahoe for $1.
Right. But the implication,
Sorry, I'm getting hung up on this. All right, Scotty.
The implication is a lot of these have not been court tested yet, so there's no precedent to say. The dealership can say all day long, yeah, whatever. Somebody is going to now take this to court, and until the court says, "Oh, no," they didn't have any disclaimer. They didn't have anything that says, all those things that they overlooked. The court can say, "Well, you didn't have those," and then everybody is going to have to scramble to put those on. So this is a test case. This is how laws get passed, and this is why we have stickers on the top of ladders. Okay, is because people push the system. A court says, "Well," and then people have to fix shit. So they're either fixing it now or they're waiting because they're smug and they're like, nobody's going to.
Well, all right. Well, if it was Chevy corporate, though, Chevy corporate doesn't sell cars. So that 100% won't stand up. If it was a dealership, maybe they might be able to fight it in court. But I'll tell you what, even if the court decides in that customer's favor, from having been on the other side of the transaction, that person is going to wait all day. Because they're going to make a big deal of it. They're going to make everyone's life at the dealership awful, and they're just going to wait.
I think the most important part here is the kind of the message that got lost in the entire video, which was AI isn't going to take over the pieces of the human interaction. And it's just, unless you're properly trained on ChatGPT, you won't be able to provide these services for certain big companies and dealerships as such, right? So it's kind of like what you're saying, Scotty, is that the legal part may play into it, but we're now going to see more in-house GPT creators. We're going to see more in-house higher ends, not more freelancing stuff. And then anything they create in-house will go through legal jargon, blah, blah, blah. And ultimately what will happen is it'll end up creating a ton of more jobs based on specialized skill sets.
So you could be a certified GPT operator?
And also be careful, because there's going to be, you already see the pop-ups of, $27.97 for GPT prompt experts. You got to have somebody like Reagan on your team who actually knows how this shit works. She showed me the new module the other day, and I'm like, I've been doing this wrong for so long. So long. Not that I use it. I'm just saying that.
Well, that's the old GIGO from computers, is garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
If you put that, I mean, it's all about the prompt. I suck at prompts because I'm not creative, and I'm zero patience.
She totally opened my eyes looking at that video. I was like, oh, I get it now. I get it. And yeah, you've said it before, have a conversation with it and everything. But my conversations are like, fucking not what I wanted. You're an idiot. You're stupid.
Yeah, old man shakes fist.
The biggest thing to remember when playing with ChatGPT, and here's my gold nugget, I guess, of the podcast and chat, is that learn how when you talk to it, it gives you the output. So then you can just manipulate the conversation.
Yeah. I think that's
that one more time.
Yeah.
So whatever you put in it, even if you put garbage in it, learn what the output of that garbage is. So then you can manipulate the conversation to where if you put garbage in, it gives you something a little better than garbage back.
That's another key nugget, is patience. You can't just, here's my prompt, here's the output. Okay, copy paste into whatever, Hemingway. You've got to have that conversation. You've got to keep breaking it down for it to really spit out stuff that is good. It's really good.
You don't need a dream prompt. You just need to have a halfway decent conversation like you would a toddler, and you'll get the results you want, fairly close at least.
Yep.
And you use it too, where you have ChatGPT help you create the prompt. Yeah.
Sometimes, depending on what I'm using it for, I will take maybe a previous conversation or a previous prompt I've used, and we'll flip it to be like, hey, write me a prompt based on this. But since custom GPTs came out, I'm all about having the chat on the front end because it gives you the instruction of the output on the back end. So if you have the chat with it, it gives you instruction on the back end. And then basically you can kind of learn how your chat formulated those instructions. And once you figure out that piece, it just is like, oh, okay, I'm going to go in and type this. If it doesn't take these notes, then I'm going to go manipulate the actual instructions for this assistant.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Really
I have a question with the whole concept of not having customer facing AI. Isn't all of Tesla Motors sales done through AI and just chat bots? They don't actually have a customer service. I don't own a Tesla, so maybe if there's somebody in the chat that does, or if y'all know better. But I was under the impression that their entire sales process was all done through AI.
I mean, Tesla doesn't really. I mean, they have a sales process, but it's not. Tesla's direct to consumer, and they are order takers. So there's no negotiating on a Tesla. There's no working the car deal. It's you click what you want online, you hit buy.
It's like building an Apple.
Yeah, basically. So that would make sense if they would have AI. There's no what's my trade? I don't think that Tesla even negotiates trades. I think it's just we plugged it in. This is what it's worth. Take it or leave it. And I think people were just so enamored. I'm getting a Tesla that they don't care.
You're such a hater.
Oh, I hate Tesla so much.
You used to hate ChatGPT for a while too.
Teslas are built like shit. I traded a handful of them at Cadillac, and every single time they were falling apart.
Those were the first model, the MVP.
They still have not gotten. Have you seen the Cybertruck builds? They've not gotten better.
MVP.
They build them in a tent.
Skateboard. Don't hate the player.
I've had with
man built rockets that land. Okay,
different company, different employees, and he didn't build them. He hired people to build them.
Right.
Brain did.
He's not Tony Stark with his.
He needs to get Toyota involved and with all this, with the build quality, and actually a hybrid version of their electric with like Toyota would make a huge difference.
Yes. Well, speaking of, now we're going way off topic from marketing. Oh, actually, I think this will be a really good marketing bit too. Toyota, the most boring car company, making an electric stick, a manual that simulates. So Toyota now is making what?
I want that so bad.
Right? Hold on. Wait. So Toyota has this thing. It has 3 pedals. It has a clutch pedal. That's simulated. It also has a stick, but there's also an automatic mode. So they're gonna market it to the car enthusiasts who are like #save the manuals. I want to be involved with this.
I'm Googling.
And it actually will simulate the power curve and will simulate all of the gears.
It'll also stall out.
It'll tell you if you would have stalled. It doesn't actually stall.
And you know what? Why hasn't that come back? Everything old is new again. We just talked about it on another episode. Why haven't car makers gone, wait a minute? People love these cars. There's a whole demographic now who grew up, and now there's a span where stick shifts aren't around. Why don't cars make that? I'm sorry, you're right.
Toyota's to be the first.
Nah, they're not going to be the first. Nobody wants that.
I'm saying I think they're going to have a whole, and there's a big trend.
It just sounds like a recall waiting to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, why? It's just a servo. It's not there's no actual gears changing.
Because
it's literally,
I feel like we really try to keep reinventing this car thing, and it never ends up good. Like everything old might be new again, but some things just like broken, don't fix them. What do I know though? I don't know anything about cars.
No, but you're right. Let's tie this into Henry Ford, because when he built that, it was all the same color. You couldn't have any choices, and then marketers and people said, "Well, you're going to run out of customers." So what have car dealers done since then?
Break a bunch of cars.
There's no dramatic changes in the car world. They just change models the flappers are different, the paint's different, all these things. There's been no huge change in the combustion.
It's a lot of the dealers on promotions too.
Yeah,
it's the dealers doing the demonstrations.
Yeah,
and everybody has that one dealer that puts on like a circus.
Yeah,
or they got the popcorn they got going, they got all the balloons, and it's just
they got the ladies from the strip club. Yeah,
they
do. There's a guy in Tampa. He came from up north.
Florida, right there.
No, he came from up north. Tom, do you remember that car guy I told you about?
Yeah.
And then he came down here, and he all the local strippers would show up, and he had all the commercials. It was crazy. He took over the market down here.
All these retired old men. I'm just getting all these girls to strip club.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, off topic.
Sorry. That's all right. How often do you go car shopping down there? Scotty's back.
I'm just browsing.
My family truckster needs to get me through another couple of years. So,
all right, Scotty. I have got milk on here as notes. Yeah. You took the pre-show notes.
Yeah.
I really appreciate what you were doing, but I need context.
There's a whole link there and everything. Jason dropped that one in there if you want to talk about it. It's Steve Jobs talking about advertising, and then what do the cliff notes say about that? It's sell the benefits, not the features. Yeah. So if you want to bring up the Got Milk ad, you can fast forward the TikTok a little bit. But it's I don't know if anyone's here old enough to remember this.
I remember with all the milk. Is that the ads they're talking about with the Got Milk ads?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The guy was he had an Aaron Burr museum, and then he started eating a peanut butter sandwich in the radio station.
I remember. He lost the game show.
Yeah. And before that, milk was taking a decline, and that whole Got Milk ad campaign flipped it back up to where it is. Everybody's back drinking milk. It was just created.
Are we drinking as much milk as we were in the 90s? I feel like we weren't slamming milk like we used to.
That's because you and your family drink Mountain Dew and these
I drink milk every day.
Yeah, I have a teenager. He's 15. He drinks a gallon of milk every 2 to 3 days. So still drinking a lot of milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
just
have a feeling that government cheese stash is still growing.
No, it was down. No, actually, the government cheese was down. So again, TikTok is now bringing us all in the food space.
Because of the pandemic?
I don't know. But the
Are we
stores are
sending it
almost
to the
depleted.
Ukraine?
Now they're back up to about, I think it's 1 billion pounds of cheese in the
Thank
cave.
God. Getting worried.
You know, I mean,
that pothole isn't fixed.
Just
But you know
there's
what?
some cheese on it.
the cheese.
Just fill that shit right in.
You could. It's good stuff.
Until
a
hot Florida afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a little sandwich out
is
there.
Is nacho dip in the road?
Yeah. A little queso. There you go. But the point of that campaign is like, and it's hard for people to wrap their heads on. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. Sell the benefits, not the features.
If he only had a glass of milk, he would have been able to win the money.
Yeah.
But also he was pounding peanut butter cookies or whatever in that friggin'
peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah. Who eats a peanut butter sandwich without anything to drink, let alone milk?
He had milk. He was out. He went like this, and then it was empty.
Yeah,
he got milk.
What did he do, Scotty?
What did he do?
Who am I? So they got these little balls. Oh, I love her to death. That was the best part of that video.
All right, so I guess the takeaway from that milk ad with Aaron Burr being also the only reason why I know who shot Alexander Hamilton was that commercial. As I learned my history from that one. Wrap a story around your product.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like not, oh hey, I made this money. You can go click here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like Reagan telling stories, was it last week, about her week without internet and power and the sun, and she survived. We got to keep those stories going, by the way.
Yeah.
They were great.
You know, Dan Henry was running that campaign for a while, talking about daily emails, right? And that's just what it goes to say. Like, it's kind of been in all of our content. We've talked about it a little more, but lifestyle marketing is the new marketing. Like, it's not, promo this is the best product ever because of X, Y, and Z. People are wanting, and brands are wanting to embed themselves with content creators, so they have a connection to make and a story to relate to, because that's what, these algorithms are based upon, right? People that have similar interests. If you're just constantly promoting something, you're not going to have a good conversion rate, and brands aren't going to want to work with you as a creator. So the best way to, really get into the creator economy is to incorporate your lifestyle and your stories into whatever you are aligned with to promote.
And realize you have to look at the long game. Dom had a good post about this too. That's the dichotomy, right? You want to pay the bills, you're hungry, you want this to work, so you think that email is going to blow up, or that video, or that whatever. You can't look at it like that. Just start producing the content in whatever form it is, so you get better at it and make the tweaks that you need to, but don't rely on that one post to feed you. It's going to take time.
Yeah. And even then, I mean, I always look at it too, is that it's the only time you're really having to wait is before that first couple sales pop. So I was like, oh, delay gratification, right? Cool. But if you can delay gratification on that first crop of customers, that first group, and then eventually that sales cycle converts, any sales cycle that starts after, like, let's say you're bringing through, let's say you're doing a 30-day challenge, right? It's a free 30-day trial. Like, I'm just bringing this back to SaaS because we were kind of in that same boat. Is you bring somebody on, say, a 30-day trial, and that first 30 days is like rough because you're like, I'm doing all the stuff. Am I going to get paid? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? But once you start having, if you can get into lead flow every single day, like you only have to wait that 30 days to money once, because then the leads that came in 2 days after that first one that converts, and then it starts flowing every day. As long as you have leads coming in every single day.
Yep.
That's the other thing I think we learned is we were like, oh, we got this big group of leads we got to service now. Turn off the promotional. We don't have to go back out to the traffic market and service these people. They decay, and then all of a sudden you're like, shit, I got nobody new coming through the door.
And that's when your consistent lifestyle and consistent story stuff plays into you building that list. So you're not constantly on a promo cycle. You're building something like a newsletter. You're talking about the current things that are happening in the market, and you're providing value to your kind of people. And what happens, right, is those people will naturally click on the link. Yeah. It's not a matter of if, it's when you build that list out.
Yeah, the longest.
Yeah, this is going to be this is going to be a shameless plug. We have a newsletter called the Creator Report, and if you guys want to check it out, we send out a newsletter talking about all things creator economy, how to monetize your content and things like that. We send it out twice per week, and it's funny that we're talking about this unintentionally because on the last newsletter that we sent out, like the headline I put on there was how Gen Z is driving the bus for billions. And the reason for that is that Gen Z relates more to storytelling marketing than anything. And big brands are noticing this through the way that content is coming through social media today. And they actually are changing the way that they market to people to be more storytelling based. So I'm just going to read just a short excerpt from the letter. It basically says, in this age of information overload, where every brand is vying for attention with the subtlety of a fireworks display, Gen Z's finely tuned detectors can effortlessly distinguish between genuine storytelling and marketing fluff. Yeah. Right? So we have to understand that Gen Z, right, the late 90s to basically through the last 15, 20 years, this new generation has got all kinds of filters set up. They have been born into the internet age, right? So information comes at them all day long, and they have access to it basically on tap. So marketers have to understand that they have to come at this generation, the Gen Z generation, as they're becoming buyers, right? Because a lot of them now are into their 20s and they now have purchasing power, buying power, and they have to be able to reach them. So that's just a little plug for the Creator Report. If you guys aren't subscribed, you guys can go to thecreatorreport.com/subscribe. You can go subscribe to our letter, and you guys can get more stuff like what we're talking about.
That was good.
And I think it's important. I absolutely love that we're talking about the whole kind of shift to more of the lifestyle type of content. I think it's important to remember in that, like, that doesn't mean this like glitz and glamour, like Instagram in the late 90s, early 2000s, where it was like you had to have this
perfect
picturesque lifestyle and everyone wanted to fawn over you. No, it's you being genuine to like the things that you're interested in and why, sharing that and allowing that connection to really happen. So anybody out there thinking, oh God, yada, 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 like a lot of people can be intimidated by that because immediately they start to think of like, oh, I've got to have this like lifestyles of the rich and famous, for anybody who's old enough to remember that fucking show.
Robin Leach.
Yes. But it's not that. It's just, it's just like what we were talking about with Reagan and her lack of internet and everything that she was going through, just real relatable shit. And that's what's going to allow people to connect with you and see you, because everything is 100% true. Information is abundant. So, but the differentiator is going to be you as the person that they can connect with, that's sharing that information, because they're going to be much more keen to listen to someone they like, they trust, they have relatability to. And I'm talking about real relatability, not like, fabricated jet setting on the beach, hanging under trees and hammocks, living the good life. You know what I mean?
I'm going to talk to you.
Just kidding, Mark. But yeah, I think it's important to remember that when you're thinking about creating the more like embracing the lifestyle, embracing the storytelling, embracing more of the like the real genuine side of personal branding, is to remember like you don't have to have a persona. You just have to be personal.
Yeah. Actors and actresses 20, 30 years ago, they had a lot of influence and, power, and, everybody was like, ooh and ah, whenever they saw a celebrity out in public and things like that. To be honest with you, today, creators have all of the attention. Like, you can have somebody on TikTok with 5 million followers and they're getting gawked at and chased after just as though, they were an actor or actress on the Hollywood, on the big screen. which is incredible to me because now anybody with a cell phone can have that type of influence and power over an audience of people. So,
yeah. Although I would say, I forget where I saw this. Fame back then used to automatically come with rich. Like rich and famous was always together. And now it's, you can have either or. Like someone with 5 million followers with a ton of attention. Like some people are just after fame because they want fame, but then that doesn't necessarily translate into money.
Right.
Yeah. And brands might,
if they don't,
if you don't have the right attention or you don't have value. We all know, everyone knows, not everyone know, but I feel like a lot of people in our space know the, remember, was it the one girl who had 3 million followers and couldn't sell a t-shirt or something?
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about that like 15 or 20 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Well, but
like
you also have to be very careful of the copycat syndrome too, right? You go from Jackass, which there was nobody, then everybody tried to replicate them. Then you go to lifestyle content. Oh, show what your average day is like. Cook in your kitchen, put your makeup on. Now, all my feed is
I hate
people
so
talking
much.
to me, putting makeup on. I'm like, that's not. I mean, maybe apparently that appears, or people like that, but or cooking in the kitchen or stuff like that. It's like I think sometimes people take like what Gary Vee says about going live, and then they just go live thinking they can catch magic in a bottle, but you've got to put something behind that. Like, why are you doing that
all the time?
Are you doing that to sell me the green card, or are you like giving me a story to listen to? Yeah, sorry.
You love the green card.
It's usually to drive people to OF these days.
Yeah.
What kind of side of TikTok are you guys on? I'm getting the Joker and preachers.
No, I'm not on that anymore, but I'm on very boring TikTok now. It's like, oh my God.
I got just one guy has been coming across. I got one kid who does a really spot on Bobby Boucher. He's got the jersey on, his little flag with the little water cooler. It's perfect. And I got this one guy doing a Heath Ledger Joker, like always comes across my page.
The Heath Ledger Joker isn't that the guy from the pandemic? Are you catching
I
up?
don't know.
Are you on old TikTok? That's like 2 years ago.
I might be. I don't know.
You're on the Vine, man. You're on Vine.
He had a really bad Batman on today, duetting with him. The other day he had a girl who did Harley Quinn. It's really interesting. I don't know. I'm on a weird side of the algorithm.
You're on Vine.
I guess. I'm okay with it. It's definitely not boring.
Vine was good.
And it's not as brain numbing as Make Money TikTok.
Oh.
Because when I end up there, I end up on like the Alpha Bros, like, be a better man. Like, no. Like, there was some dude with like a heavy beard who's like
that stupid thing you sent me this morning, you ass.
Yes.
First thing in the morning, rage texting.
I thought they would laugh.
I rage comment on there, and I don't usually comment on TikTok. I was in there like,
I'm sorry, Scotty.
What he was talking about was like all the stupid pack clerks from the military who get out and they want to be SEALs, so they start like influencer health or whatever, and they're the ones who like
corporate warrior training.
Yeah, take grown men out to the beach in the morning and make them sit like SEALs and yell at them. I'm like, you are an idiot. You're the same one who said I would have joined, but I would have punched the drill sergeant in the face.
Dude, Scotty, it hits so different when you're wearing reindeer antlers.
I know. Yeah. Oh, those guys. Okay. What's up next on the topics?
I got Steve. Chipotle with the napkins. I've never taken napkins from Chipotle. Ever.
What?
The brown ones?
No, never. I feel like I'm an anomaly because I was like, why would someone take napkins?
What do your kids wipe their hands on in the back of your car? The seat?
No, it's just there's other
clothes.
I don't know what they do actually.
Yeah,
exactly.
Not a prepared
I what are your kids? I feel like my kids. I don't know.
That's part of the survival pack. You got to have napkins.
It's why you had to get rid of that other car.
Yeah.
They needed more place to wipe their hands.
Yeah.
But it was a great cheap marketing thing that they did, and I think they said it was limited edition. People scooped them up. Didn't cost them anything. Next, they should brand it. They didn't brand it. They just put, it was brown, and it's a little napkin visor you put above your car, and when you put the napkins in it, it says Chipotle. Oh,
yeah, they leaned into the thing.
Time. What's that?
You know what's? Go ahead.
What?
Oh, I would say like that was like a small little mom and pop shop. They would have like this big sign that says, "Do not take the napkins. They cost money."
Yes.
Chipotle's like, fuck it. We'll just put our logo on them and make sure. Here you go. Take them.
Take all the plastic straws you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do take forks though. I will say I take forks because you can never run out of too many forks.
Like metal forks.
No.
I mean, I may or may not have taken metal forks before.
Do you wash them?
No,
Do you,
I don't
do you reuse the plastic forks? You do, don't you?
No, I don't.
You're that guy.
That's why if I reused them, I wouldn't take so many. I'd only need one.
Wait, are we on a call with people that reuse plasticware? Like,
Yeah.
I hope not.
Well, it depends on the plastic. Is it heavy, like made to be washed plastic, or is it disposable plastic? There's two kinds of plastic.
Oh, you just don't care about this planet, I guess.
No,
Because
clearly
there's
not.
no such thing as disposable plastic, my friend.
Wait, Scotty, do you reuse the forks?
I don't care. He lives in Florida. Of course, he doesn't reuse the forks.
Oh God, no. No.
Yeah, he just finds a manatee and goes, "Here, you need a fork," and throws it in the ocean.
Hey, buddy.
Straight to the sea turtle.
Put this straw in your blowhole.
So off the rails.
I
But
use a
whatever,
sport
you know,
to
it's
wrestle with
fun.
alligators.
But I would say, is there something in that you can give away, or there's like, but also, all right, I'm gonna bring this
Oh,
back
he's
into
bringing
our
it
little.
back.
I'm gonna bring it right back here.
Okay.
There is something that I feel like there is, like we always have. Start recording, like Scotty did. Scotty ask people to record, like Chipotle and the napkins is like an inside joke inside the brand.
Yeah.
What is an inside joke with you and your followers in your little community that you can kind of make, you can lean into the way that Chipotle literally made up. Yeah, I'm doing Tommy DeVito now. What is something
Tommy Cutlets over there.
I am from New Jersey. I cannot help it. It is a thing. I hate that I'm doing it. I hate that I do it, but it's just a thing.
What
is
in the comments?
build
Put in the
around?
comments. What do you have as an inside joke? I see Jeremy on here. You got some brisket jokes or something. Who else has some insider stuff that just you and your followers banter back and forth about? Love to hear it.
Yeah, create something around and lean into that, because that almost feels like a club.
Yeah.
I think my running joke with my people is the fact that, like, if you actually message me, you're not actually talking to me. Like,
Yeah, no.
if you know, you
it's a
know.
bot.
Yeah.
Just don't say it. That's not the way to get a hold of me. I don't even know what the way to get a hold of me is, because
Dom's is just keep clicking.
Yeah,
Yep.
just click.
If you've ever seen his click rage in person, it's something else. I tell you. Holy.
oh,
You can't
trying
try
to
to
keep
make it go
Dom
live.
bake.
Yeah, I was trying to learn something new. It was not fun. But whatever. I mean, it'll be. I think Scotty's thing was, "Is this what you do? You just sit and curse at yourself?" And yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's funny because when I've had to like show you something I'm doing and I'm over here clicking, you're like, wait. I'm like, oh, how does it feel? It's fun, isn't it?
Dude, I have to bottle that rage up when I'm trying to figure something out when we do one of our calls.
I'm telling you, that's why you should totally be
I should-
recording all of that stuff. That would be a YouTube channel. People would just sit up. The Cheeto fingers would be up at night watching you rage click, trying to build stuff. They'd
Just do
have
it live.
watch parties.
I would be
That's
like
awesome.
watching you live, like, oh, Dom's good and mad. He can't figure out that Zap connection today.
Yeah.
All right, so we just started a thing where I just comment something random you want automated, and I'll try to figure it. Because that's the thing. I figured it out once. I'm like, oh, I don't need to figure anything else out. So like, today was a rare occasion, trying to learn something new.
Yeah, I think collectively we can make a fun little duo live happen.
Oh, I'm okay being prompted. We would watch that. Here, figure this out. Okay, fine.
Watch Fest, 2 a.m. Bring your Cheetos.
In the morning. All right, Scott, you got Google Relate Gemini, but it was fake.
Oh, well.
What is that?
I didn't spell it correct. That's what you went with? Oh, no. Gemini.
We went through everything. Oh, the
No, we
Mandela
didn't.
effect. We want to do
We didn't
Mandela
go through
effect?
the Mandela effect, and we didn't go. Yeah, the Mandela effect is.
All right, go do
cool.
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
What was that for?
The Capricorn, fruit of the loom.
Oh,
Cornucopia.
Cornucopia.
Oh my God.
Tomato.
Cornucopia season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so it turns out Fruit of the Loom did have a cornucopia. Like
That was the point. That was the point
on
of
the
her
patent now, right?
What?
Didn't she find a patent on the logo or like the trademark? Not a patent, a trademark.
Well, what she started out the whole series, it was almost like Blair Witch. She's really close to the camera, and she's monotone talking about it. And then the video that we put in our chat was about how she's going to get to the bottom of it by just releasing T-shirts with,
yes,
cornucopia.
The cornucopia, yes.
Yeah. And then if they sue her, then she's going to have to stop doing it. But if they don't, she's going to make millions. And then she's like, so if you want to support this and buy my sweatshirt, and she had a link in the bio for people to buy the shirt. And it was like kind of genius. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Either this is because Fruit of the Loom did. I mean, they officially took a stance of like, no, we never had a cornucopia ever.
Right. Of course, just like your other thing that I didn't put in there, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's what you're finding on the internet right now. So these Mandela effects have they're very good editing, and it makes you go, well, wait a minute, is that true or not? And they miss out pieces of it. And the reason I said that about Rich Dad, Poor Dad is you dropped that thing about the guy saying Rich Dad, Poor Dad was made up by Robert Kiyosaki, didn't write it. It was a ghostwriter, whatever. A lot of people in the comments are going nuts on that. And I'm sitting back here going, but you didn't do any research. People didn't research whether he actually wrote it this whole time. And yet now people are also going, I knew he didn't write it. Who's right? Did anybody research it, or did that guy just make a video?
I hate
and he
being
was
early.
Very convincing. What's that?
I hate being early on posts because there was like 4 comments when I shared it to you. I don't even know. I never go back to them to see if it blows up or not.
But the thing is, if you are very
I hate being too
Tommy
good
Cutler
for
too.
peasants in conversation.
If you're convincing about your argument, and that one is one of those ones where it can kind of make sense, you're like, okay, that makes sense. And if you can put that story together, it doesn't have to be true. And who knows? Because who's going to go out there and actually research whether this guy is right or Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book? Nobody. It's just going to be on TikTok with people going, yeah, I knew it.
It's like Dom and his Russell Brunson story.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Hook story offer. I just totally made up a story. It was a marketing tall tale. Remember that like mini series I did like a year and a half ago?
No.
Oh, I completely made up a story about like Russell was fishing and some guy came and told him a story and then he made an offer. I'm like, that's where it came from. And my entire comment section was like, oh my God, that's an amazing story. I had no idea where it came from.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, all right. Now, okay. Because now we brought this right back to me, I would say that is only possible if there's an intrinsic and implicit trust with the creator.
No.
Why?
The guy who put that out there today, nobody knew who he was.
That's true.
But people had a framed narrative about Robert Kiyosaki, whether they liked him or hated him.
Well, I think like most people don't trust what he says, though. A lot of people don't trust. I mean, a lot of people do, but a lot of people also don't.
Okay, but the guy who said the story is a nobody.
That's true.
He just came out of the blue. Well, maybe not a nobody, but I don't know.
I think if you present enough data, even whether it's fact or fiction,
right,
and you have enough conviction in your presentation, you can convince anybody of anything.
How the fuck does flat Earth work? The same thing. You know what I mean?
How does what work?
Flat Earth.
Oh my God.
And no, think about it though. If you put enough data points that are like, there's a swath of people that'll be like, yeah, that makes sense to me because it reinforces beliefs they already held or something.
I'm going to go with a recent presidential election would represent very similarly the exact conversation we're having right now. If you say something with loud enough conviction, you'll convince some people full of ignorance that it's true.
Are we talking about Dukakis and Mondale?
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
We're always talking about Dukakis. When are we not? It's like the Roman Empire.
Absolutely right, Reagan.
The Roman Empire.
Yeah. That's my Roman.
Hey, look, I could have used some Roman concrete about 2 days ago.
Reagan nailed it, though. You can. If there's a sliver of hope and a belief, all you have to do is a story that makes sense. Because in a way, it makes sense, to people who are already going down that rabbit hole. So yeah, they're still out there. People still out there going to vote for the motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? Is he on a ballot somewhere?
I mean, you gotta.
Dude, I had a guy show up at my house to buy something off of Facebook Marketplace a couple of weeks ago. Said something about that. I don't know. He saw my military stuff or something and thought he was one of them. It's like that Chappelle thing, where the guy goes, you know what? And the guy's going, no, wait, who was it? Talk about, the guy's going to say something racist when you're in the South when he's like, and another thing, and you're looking around and going, shit, here it comes the word. This guy looked around my house, made assumptions, and he starts out of nowhere. Here's my George Foreman grill. And another thing, I can't wait till the election comes around again. We'll show them. And I was like, man.
Love these unprompted Scotty monologues.
Or the guy on the construction site in North Carolina. I'm on a freaking high rise doing concrete on a parking garage. Guy's looking at me. And he's like, out of the blue, next time we're going to win. Because I was, I'm a Yankee. And I was like, what?
What year was this?
Dude, that was like 2000 maybe. I don't know. It was like, it was 79. No,
I would believe it. If you said that with enough conviction, I'd have believed.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I rambled off. That was a funny guy.
I'm surrounded by it right now, so it's just like very top of mind for me, and I'm just like, yeah, it's great.
I mean, I can infiltrate anyone just by with my boyish good looks and the way I look. They'll put me in there.
You 100% are our mole on the inside whenever we want to go get the deep scoop on something. You're always like, oh yeah, I'm in.
Yep, exactly.
Every time. I don't think there's been anything where you missed.
Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna stop now.
Inconspicuous.
I gotta take these. I'm inconspicuous.
No one's gonna expect the guy in the reindeer ears.
Those hurt my head. Joke's over.
No. Wait. All right. So, question: Are they supposed to go on a car and you just put them on your hat?
Yes, actually.
It's the whole time you're wearing them. I was like,
I couldn't figure out how to, so I just, shoved them up there. So you were talking about Google and Gemini, full circle. So Google released Gemini, which was supposed to be the Dolly killer and ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, the video where they had find Australia on a map and like it was real. Yeah,
it was all set up. It wasn't real.
Really?
Not that it wasn't real, but there was some magic behind the scenes that they finally had to admit to, because that got all over TikTok, social media, and other people were like, that doesn't look like that. Looks like some of it was edited. That looks like it was this, and they were like, yeah, it's gonna do that. It's just not ready yet. Yeah.
Why would you do that as Google?
MVP. That's why I hate the term MVP.
I understand it, but like, why?
Risk it.
Google, you have so much to lose. Like that could ruin you.
You could be the guy throwing.
You're talking about the same company that we spoke about the G Spot on.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
But the G Spot was a real thing. It was done.
I still can't.
I haven't seen one. Without making many jokes, I haven't seen one since we had that conversation.
Right.
Hey Google, how about you show me how to find it? There you go. No. Break down barriers.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. All right, fine. Dude, I'm just taking L's today.
Scotty goes to ChatGPT to ask.
I think Google's in that position where they can throw shit out to see what gets traction. Like they're in that position where they're like they really, I mean, as a company, like I feel like they're just kind of untouchable. I mean, for the love of, I mean,
yeah, they are 90% of searches
I'm
right
Googling.
Now.
It's a verb now. It's not a company. It's a verb.
Right.
Oh, I Googled it. Oh, I'm Googling right now. Like it's a thing you're doing. It's just a part of everyday life. So I don't think that even if they threw out a product that wasn't ready and they're just trying to build up hype around it, I don't think it's going to affect them at all.
But it wasn't.
If anything, it's going to build up more awareness and people are going to start talking about it. So the more versions that come out and the more perfected it becomes, they're already going to be like have a whole cult-like following behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it wasn't that they threw out a product that was half finished. I mean, hell, we do it half the time we do it anyway. But like Google, they lied and said it was more finished than it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the worst part about it. It's not like we throw something half done all the time. We go, hey guys,
but what are you going
to get better?
Are you going to stop Google? Are you going to stop using them? Are you going to boycott them? Is it Starbucks?
Yeah, I'm using DuckDuckGo.
You're going to Bing it now?
Yeah, you're going to go to Bing.
So the new verb's going to be I'm ducking.
I'm ducking.
I'm ducking. Yeah, I'm ducking it.
Yeah,
ducking stupid.
I ducked it.
They had zero to lose.
Yeah,
binging. I'm binging it.
Yeah,
that's not a verby. Oh well, that's a good branding tip. Can your brand become a verb?
Okay.
If it
I
can't,
mean,
that's a litmus
that
test.
means you have infiltrated all areas of life at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In a company like that, I mean, they would, I mean, I don't even think a scandal would bring them down. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, yeah.
Well, didn't Google want to, I think Google's still paying a fine, I think, to Montana because they banned TikTok. And it was like 10 grand a day. And they were like, yeah, we'll just pay it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But they still, I know when that happened like a year ago, that was fine. And they were just like, yeah, we'll just pay it.
Yeah.
Like hell, a sanction made Facebook money. Talking about FANG companies and big having the money that they have.
Yeah. It's like, it's $10 for them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, and just like this comment right here, you got to remember, like, majority of tech, like in the real tech world, it's move fast and break shit.
Yeah.
Like that's like their whole thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not shocked that they announced something that is not even remotely close to where it being ready to do the things it says it's going to do. I mean, hell, I remember, I mean, during like the whole Uber explosion when they were first trying to get into fully like autonomous vehicles and semis, like that was like the wave of the future.
Yeah.
And then it just died. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Turns out they can't handle snow or rain.
Yeah.
Move to Florida.
It's a fun little comment. How many brands in 30 seconds can you think of that are a verb?
What's a verb?
Google,
Kleenex.
Xerox. What?
FaceTime. And you just said it, Uber.
Yeah.
Uber.
I'll Uber it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Venmo me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah. Cash App too, I guess.
Photoshop, Instagram.
Cash App.
Dude.
Don't always have to take it
Tender.
somewhere extra.
Are your hoes Cash Apping you?
Dude, my rental drivers use Cash App for incidentals all the time. I have a cash tag. I have a Cash App.
Zoom. Yep.
Dude,
Not
talk
a Zoom.
about brands that like drop the ball. Freaking Skype.
Yeah.
Skype was a verb.
Yeah.
And now it's Zoom.
Yep.
WhatsApp, WeChat, maybe.
Who WhatsApp?
Not in this
Besides
country.
Scammers.
I guess another one is going to be jet ski.
Jet ski.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a good
jet
one.
ski is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
jet skiing. There's a lot of brands. That
Yeah. No
ski.
one's out there saying I'm gonna wave running. No, I'm gonna go jet skiing.
I'm gonna
You know
push
what I
for
mean?
water crafting.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of them out there, but
What was there was another one that was I don't know. I
You
had
said
it.
something funny too, Dom, just now
Mayor.
about WhatsApp. You said it's scammers.
Yeah. I only have ever had
Right, but the rest of the world uses WhatsApp. I mean, go into the high level community talking about that, how people are so up in arms. We don't get it. Everybody else on the globe uses that rather than what we use. And it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I guess
Very true.
I didn't know that either. I don't like it.
it was like Telegram. I didn't know about Telegram.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a scammer thing until we all ended up on Telegram somehow. Now that's the only app I open on a regular basis now.
Okay, what about Twitch? I thought, yeah, Twitch. That's where Andrew Tate is. No thanks. Crypto.
No, it was Rumble. He's on Rumble.
Crypto Creek. What?
He's on Rumble.
No, but before, like Twitch. I didn't know what Twitch was. I had no idea.
Yeah, Rumble's looking to grow a lot in viewership over the next year.
But like who I don't know. I've never even seen a Rumble video. Like, is that like
It's
who's
the
their-
way
who's their target market? Like, is it short form? Is it long form?
Rumble
You gotta go to Clapper to
Rumble
watch it.
Rumble is like YouTube of like 13 years ago, where it's just kind of like you just threw shit against the wall and like you didn't have like guideline violations or anything like that. Where they were a little more apolitical, like they're not political. Like today, YouTube is connected to Google, and you can't say certain things on YouTube without getting violated or getting videos flagged or anything like that. Right now, anything pretty much goes on Rumble. It's just kind of like a free for all. So
That's kind of like, yeah.
I don't know much about Rumble. I'm with you, Robert.
I have the app. I watch Rumble stuff from time to time. It's basically the stuff that you can't watch on YouTube.
Huh.
It's unfiltered. There's no it's literally like anything goes except for like pornography or anything like that. Of course it's not.
I'm out. Okay.
And on that note, guys, we really need an outro. Hey, thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please leave us a review, or better yet, take a screenshot on your phone, post it to social media, and tag us, Digital Marketing Misfits, or just use the hashtag Digital Marketing Misfits. And for extra bonus content you can't get anywhere else, go to digitalmarketingmisfits.com.